Recession causes oil usage to go down, and inflation causes commodities like oil, gold, and silver to rise. Is also true. But what wins when you're kind of putting them against each other? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so oil hit $130 a barrel after the invasion. It's now at 97, and it's dropped a lot just in the last, say, month, 6 weeks. And so always remember that the markets are looking forward. So inflation's right now, right? That's an issue. But the markets are looking forward. And so the markets right now are pricing in the possibility higher rate of a recession. In a recession, there's less oil used. So in this environment right now, the recession beats the inflation. It's possible, what they call stagflation, right, where you have no growth and a situation where you still have higher inflation, mainly because especially in the area of energy, it is set on a worldwide basis. Mm-hmm. But it's pretty likely that we're going to have a worldwide recession, honestly, in my opinion. If we have one here, it'll be other places. Matter of fact, Europe probably has even more threat of a recession than we do, and might contagious to us as far as that goes. So, I think that recession wins in this particular case because recession is the forward-looking thought process that the market's looking at, and so it's looking longer term down the road and is saying, okay, recession's coming. There's going to be less oil usage, and the price of oil has been coming down, for that. There's some other reasons too. Obviously, there's always many variables coming in, and the COVID lockdowns and the threat of more COVID lockdowns in China is a big issue. They're a huge consumer of oil because they're one of the biggest, kind of the world supplier of goods. And so when they cut back, they use less energy, there's less cost. So there's kind of the combination is happening there. But the question was, inflation makes the prices of commodities and oils go up, recessions make them go down. Who wins? Right now, I think it's recession that's going to win here, unless we don't have one. Mm-hmm. Right? And so that's the key. That's the difficulty here, because if we don't have a recession and we continue to have inflation, then commodities and oil and those prices will continue to go up. But look at the Federal Reserve. I don't think they're going to allow inflation to go and go and go. They're going to kill everything in sight trying to get inflation down. I think that's a mistake, but I think they're going to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. And if they have to go 3/4 and 3/4 and 3/4, whatever it takes. And so eventually, because these increases that they're doing are delayed reaction. So in other words, we don't see this set 3/4 point increase that they're going to do here, in July. We might not see the real impact of that until January. So they're levering these things up without really knowing what's going to happen in January. We might get to January and realize, oops, we've done too many. And, whatever that is, maybe it's the first half of next year, at some point in time. And this is the typical pattern for the Federal Reserve, is that they overraise rates, they create this big downturn, and the market is actually pricing in some decreasing of rates for the end of the first half of next year already, this time next year, as far as that goes, for that exact reason. Overraise rates, get inflation down, but then it just starts to go the other direction, and inflation comes, and recession comes really hard. And so if that happens, it's hard to imagine commodities and oil and what have you doing great there unless we see something from Russia. Yeah, mm-hmm. And they could do something there too. So, that's why I don't play that market that much. There's too many weird variables that can come out of left field. You look at a Target, which got hammered. They're a great business. I'd rather buy Target than oil, personally, just because it's more defined. That's a company that's actually trying to make money. They're not invading anybody. There's no weird players like Iran and all these things that are in there, So I don't really play that market that much as far as that goes. There's too many ways that somebody can change the calculus that you have overnight. Mm-hmm. Right? If Russia decides to cut back half their production tomorrow, it's going to go up in price, and you would have made money on that energy bet, right? But if if all of a sudden Iran comes online and Venezuela comes online more, so yeah, things can change pretty quickly there, and all of a sudden you've got a lower price, or a steep recession kicks in, and less energy, or COVID lockdown. There's too many pieces there that are out there that I don't play that game.